podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott Bear and Jeremiah Johnson.
Welcome to the Lost and Known podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm Jeremiah.
And I forgot to say Thaddeus, but we'll move on from that. It's been a while since we recorded.
Yeah, you know, a little while.
I thought that would be my new shtick that I would keep rolling with and hope no one noticed the host just changed. But,
yeah, that you're Thaddeus now?
Oh, well. Moving on.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. This is the Lost and Known podcast, as you already know, unless you're a radio listener and you just wandered into this thing wondering what the fuck is happening. Well, this is a podcast where we take obscure news stories from the internet, we bring them to the surface, we report on them like any good journalist would, but then we like to do a little twist. We like to do a little extra content. We create new content out of those stories. We twist those weird news stories, whether it be a Florida man throwing an alligator through a Wendy's drive-thru window or whatnot.
Happened.
And we try to change them into either a movie, a TV show, a book idea, some form of new content. We like to think, by doing this show, that we're automatically copywriting it.
Boom, yeah, we're not lawyers, but fuck it, now we are.
But honestly, go ahead. Make the content if you're a creator out there in the world, have the means, the money, the time, and the resources.
Yeah, God knows we don't have any of those things,
we
so
don't.
All we need is a little bit of credit, and if you make some big bucks on it, send a few little bucks our way, or at least do an interview on the podcast you stole from, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Have fun with it, though. It's like an idea goodwill of sorts, only you have to pay us. And we'll sue you.
I would say if there was a movie based on any one of our ideas, and we've definitely fleshed out some movie ideas, full plots, like 3 acts.
Yeah.
I would just like based on an idea by.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that.
And every fucking penny,
credits.
you've ever made in your goddamn life, and your goddamn mother, if I fucking need to sue you and take you to court for all that. That's all I need. So we have different.
I was just gonna stay with the. We'll take an actual.
We'll find a spot in the middle.
On screen, we want our name spelled right.
Okay. All right.
And
Thaddeus or Scott? You're gonna go by.
I would go with Scott. For that.
You probably should.
But that's basically the basic concept of the show. We do have a few little things we like to do before we get into what we call web droppings, which is the basis of the show where we actually create this new bit of content and teach you a little something new. But before we get into that, Jer.
Yeah, we're in episode 273, so for all my phonies out there, the 273 area code is in North Carolina. It includes Greensboro and some other places. Plenty of other places. The Greensboro is the big one that I noticed. So I didn't care about any of the other ones. And it's not Prime, even though we're not doing the Prime factorization. When we do have Prime episodes, I think there's 5 or 6 more.
You can always bring those up when they happen.
I do. When the Primies happen, this one sounds like it should have been Prime. It's not.
And we've been searching for another thing to replace Primies, and we bounced around with different ideas about doing episode numbers. I actually think I'm just going to land on Simpsons, because it's the easiest one to research.
Yeah, and it's going to take us a long time to get to like 700 or 650 or whatever episodes. So and by the time we do, they should also have more. So
what we have here is Simpsons episode 273, matches our show's episode number. This is one's called A Hunka Hunka Burnin' Burns.
Burns in Love.
Hunka Burns in Love.
Yeah, I remember this episode.
And this is Mr. Burns falling in love with a much younger woman, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Also a special cameo in that episode by George Takei.
Yep. Yeah, and this is
when...
Takei.
Tomato.
Yeah, tomato. I think this is about when they were starting to go a little downhill. I do remember this episode, and I thought it was decent, if I recall. But this was from the 13th season, so we're in the period where like they were just crossing. I remember like when the 13th season came out, I was like, this is the most terrible thing ever. Now they're so far like in 31 or whatever.
Yeah.
And now 13 feels like an old season, so I'm like, oh, okay, this has a feel to it. So I think like each year, it'll be at some point I'll be watching one from the 16th season and going, oh, these aren't bad.
Yep.
Nothing's gonna like compare to like seasons 5 through like 9.
Two fun facts about this episode. The couch gag was the Simpsons dressed as prisoners burrowing up onto their couch, and this was the first time they actually had to redraw Mr. Burns because he had never in 13 seasons been drawn happy. They had to figure out how to do it, and
like a whole new sheet.
Yeah, pretty much. They had to redo a character design for him. The biggest change they made to him in this episode when he's happy: no eyebrows.
Oh, okay. Because normally they're just always.
Yep.
Is it a single brow that's always?
It's
or is it 2 brows?
I want to say it's 2 that are arced in. Although I don't know. It's weird. I've seen every episode of The Simpsons pretty much, and I can't remember. But to make him look happy, they just removed the eyebrows.
Oh yeah, no. It seems like he just always has like that almost unibrow, but it is always either straight across or going. They're more like eyelids.
Okay.
So
whatever that is, they removed it.
It's it's a single line that's always like a smile over top of his eyes. Which makes
you hear that, listeners? Brown. You want to look happy? Shave your eyebrows.
Yep, you heard it here first.
You also never look surprised, scared, angry. confused, sad, tired.
Yeah,
But you maybe always look happy.
I still think you need to smile. You know, because you still smile with your eyes and your mouth.
No facial smile. Just no eyebrows, no facial smile. Can't you tell I'm fucking happy?
So just
as you walk at people on the street with your shirt off and
it just looks like
suspenders as pants, but they're not buckled over you.
It definitely seems like you just walked out of like a 3D printer that has like the base human form that doesn't have any substance to it yet.
I also want to see where my belly button should be. That's pretty much the next line after that, I feel.
Should be.
All right. Now, Jer, you have a follow-up to a previous story.
Previous stories, I would say. I don't know how many times we have followed Mad Mike Hughes on this show, but it has been multiple times. Those of you...
I'm going to prove the Earth's not round.
Yeah,
That's my impression of him.
How is he going to do that? By shooting a steam-powered rocket, which he successfully did once, but it's only about 1,000, 1,200 kilometers up. You need to be about 32,000 to actually see the curvature of the Earth. Yeah. So whatever he was proving, he wasn't proving. But he was like, but it's a steam-powered rocket, and we got word before this, and actually, it's almost good that we're recording when we were. We were supposed to record a couple of days ago and couldn't, and had to postpone, which is good because we actually have an update on the update. The update was he was planning a launch for Sunday. That was delayed for some reason, so they moved it back to Monday or Tuesday, one of those, and... must have been Monday, Monday, the 12th, yeah. So Monday, and that didn't actually end up happening. I just checked out today, and it turns out that Mad Mike Hughes' steam rocket launch was grounded because there was a bad water heater that he bought from Craigslist. So, real above board shit here.
You don't test that shit before you even try to
You'd think, be like,
launch into the near stratosphere.
Well, remember last time he took a pretty hard landing, he ended up okay, but it wasn't he considered it a pure success, but it wasn't like a perfect launch last time around. He ended up getting rushed out in an ambulance out of that last time around. And he's like, it reminds me of The Simpsons.
He's in a tin rocket made out of roofing materials.
Yeah, and clearly shit just cobbled together from Craigslist. Front porch forum. Just be like, anybody got an extra water heater?
You know what most people do when they shoot a rocket up in the air? They have a pod that pops off with a parachute.
Yeah.
And it floats down safely into water. He's just over Reno.
No, and he's just well, see what happens. And I feel like one of these days it's not going to end well for Mad Mike, but Godspeed, sir.
He's going to crash right into it like a quinceanera and kill 12 14, 15, 16-year-olds and
it'll be tragic and be like, see, it's not always guns that do mass killings. People could just get a rocket ship, huh? You ever think about that? Nobody's banning rocket ships.
What are you going to do? Ban homemade rocket ships? Yeah, I actually
would
think
be a great idea.
Should.
Yeah. And guess what? If 14 homemade rocket ship attacks had happened in the last 3 weeks, we probably would have banned those by now. Let's not get too excited with politics, which is crazy that we have to consider mass shootings politics. It should not be a political issue, but it is. But instead, we're just gonna hop into not the show proper. We actually have we're bringing back an old segment that you brought to the show this time around, and this is Blinded Me with Science.
Yeah, this is a story that is not new. It's actually a little on the older side, but it came to light to me recently, so I thought it was worthy of mention.
Me with Science doesn't always have to. It's not like web droppings where we have to be super topical. This can just be a fun nugget that you pull out.
Exactly.
Pull out of
Now, this is about a DARPA project. We all know DARPA. They made that mule robot and the cheetah robot. I think we talked about both on our show. Innovations of science. They're robotics.
Specifically, military projects.
Yeah, they're the highest military robot company on Earth. And this is a project that actually ended in 2015. And as I describe it, you'll probably find out why. And I have a few thoughts on this, too.
Yeah.
The robot is called EATR, Energetically Autonomous Tactical Robot. It is essentially a robot that can eat biomass to feed itself energy to keep moving.
This is pretty much the plot for Horizon Zero Dawn.
And or Screamers.
And how it just... Yeah.
Or a good Terminator movie nobody's thought of yet.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because the reason they essentially... It's not like they're murderous because they hate humans. They're this is just literally... It's actually pretty much Horizon.
Do Terminator. I hate humans. We're wiping them out. Terminator robot... like a zombie, but more skilled in combat, comes over a hill and shoots someone. Then, just like a zombie, picks up their corpse, eats
Yeah,
it.
and it recharges like their power core.
All the way back up to green.
Yep.
And then it drops the body. It's now covered in blood with flesh hanging out of its mouth, picks up its rifle, its AR-15, and goes back into battle.
Yeah.
What is fucking scarier
man-eating
than that?
AI fucking robots? Definitely.
Yeah. So the project was scrapped, and there's actually no notes that I could find that say exactly why. That I believe.
There's like we've had a lot of our soldiers and scientists come up missing, and there's just like this really fat robot there, like he did it, and points to the other scientists, like no, because that's the way scientists talk.
They did make mention that it was specifically programmed to eat plant biomass, but they
chicken
also
fat too.
But they also mentioned chicken fat and a few other things, which made you be led to believe it would just eat biomass of any kind.
And there were internet
meaning
rumors
a dead
about
body.
it would find something and be like, oh, this works. It's going to teach itself and the whole hive mentality of the way AI works. It spreads that out. Be like, hey guys, we can eat this, and suddenly every single one on Earth. Luckily, there are not that many of them, but I still think that some are roving in the wild. I bet.
I got
That's the real Bigfoot, actually.
I mean, my Terminator idea, I think, is excellent. That's good new content.
I like that.
But I think maybe an R-rated Pixar-style movie, like Sergeant Roomba.
Oh, it's pretty much just like Wall-E just finally gets fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I'm eating people now.
No, it's like a Roomba. It has a gun on top. It shoots someone, then it vacuums them in, ingests them. The light hits green, and it keeps going. But then you have a whole story. It's like cars. They have googly eyes and mouths.
Of course, it's got to be a little cute. And in the pitch meeting goes like this. It's like, hey, I've got an idea. It's Wall-E meets Ed Gein. All right, we're good. It's like, yeah, fuck it, we're Disney. We can seriously just print money now. Everybody's gonna watch this shit. Yeah.
Except for all those Fox movies that Disney had to absorb.
Oh yeah,
when they bought Fox.
They absorbed them. That's a little different than making them.
Taken a loss.
Yeah. That's because they've the only thing.
The only billionaires at Disney won't make all their money.
Oh god, they're not gonna be able to become more of a conglomerate and fucking ruin a whole bunch of shit.
They're on track for $9 billion movies this year. In 1 year.
Yeah.
There used to be $0 billion movies, period. This is one studio.
Yes. They've got.
Damn.
And the thing that I'm actually getting pissed about with big blockbusters is like even like our little theater in town here has like 2 screens, and now that it's just like crazy, there's like 2 screens for like each one. So sometimes there's like 2 blockbusters, so 4 fucking screens for the 2. Might as well be the same shitty movie playing on both the fucking screens. Yeah. It's like how many Fast and Furious movies did we need? Yeah, give it a screen, that's fine. But you know what? Maybe I wanted to see Scary Stories Tell in the Dark. It's not down there because of fucking 4 screens. They're like,
is it not playing anywhere locally?
I mean, not right down here. It's definitely up in Burlington. Yeah,
but literally, it's not in Barry or Montpelier.
It's not in Barry Montpelier. No.
Wow.
It was on the Coming Soon thing for Montpelier, and then it just left the Coming Soon and never made it to the theater.
Wow.
So my thought is
that
like Hobbs and Shaw
garbage.
did well enough that they stuck around because it's on 2 screens.
Another fucking live action Disney cartoon movie.
Yeah. Lion King was like on 2 screens.
We're do the Lion King live action, not animated. It's CG.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Are you fucking with me?
Yeah.
It's not unless you fucking trained a lion to talk and do shit. It's still a cartoon.
Yeah, there's like a couple of people in it at some point, probably, maybe. I don't know. I know nothing about it.
I refuse to watch all live action Disney movies because guess what? I saw most of them when my kids were kids.
Like Disney. And you'll watch the live action Disney properties.
I don't need to watch them live.
Yeah. Well, especially like those, like a lot
especially
of those.
The Lion King, especially that has 0 human actors, meaning that movie is 100%. Cartoon.
I might with like if they did like an Aladdin, because I had such a big crush on Jasmine. I'd like to see who they got to play.
I won't. No midriff.
No
midriff.
Oh well, no midriff. No money.
They dressed her all conservatively, and I was actually like, ooh,
no money.
Live action Jasmine.
Yeah.
No midriff.
Yeah, I know. So it's been like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and I don't know if Beauty and the Beast was in
Jungle
Disney,
Book,
but,
Lion King.
Yeah.
There's one more coming to Netflix as or Disney Plus as a direct to.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I forget. Oh, and Mulan's next.
Okay. All stuff.
I'm wondering that one's problematic. I mean, the dragon was named Mushu.
If they're trying to I'm
wondering if they're gonna fix that one up.
Yeah. Her dad Ching Chong or whatever. Like it's like the worst fucking thing on the planet. It's like because like Marvel. I mean, like Disney has a really good reputation of being politically correct throughout its history. Well, there's so many like hidden shit like that they just pulled out from ages ago.
Actually, Mulan would be the first one I might watch in live action because it is a wintry Asian war movie with a dragon.
And guess what?
And the dragon's not badass like Game of Thrones. It's more the comic relief. So I feel like it would be fun to watch.
And another opportunity for the Szechuan sauce to be cross-promoted, other than just appease Rick and Morty fans.
Do you think that'll happen?
No, but I think only to appease Rick and Morty fans, because I think there would be a petition immediately for them to bring it back.
Okay. But then again, they might be like, we already did it for you. Like,
yeah. Come
back
on,
off. Back
cut
off.
Cut it out, nerds.
Cut it out, nerds.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better. So the Eater robot, not coming to a home near you.
Eater? I hardly know her enough to eat her.
Hardly. Also, the project being shut down does not mean it's dead. It just means it's on active development.
Yeah, and also...
I bet you anything that...
it also just means we think it's dead. Like, what they told us, they're DARPA. Like, they do, like, super classified military stuff. The fact that we even knew about it means, like, at some point they got comfortable enough telling the public about it or declassifying
last week
documents.
We talk about we didn't talk about the spy balloons in the show that go over the Midwest. We talked about that personally.
We talked about that personally, yeah.
I was going to say, same thing with those. Put the Eater robot mouth on the bottom, and when the balloon loses energy, it sinks.
It just sinks.
And
just starts munching up whatever it finds.
Whatever it hits, it eats, and then it rises.
So for us to live in a wooded area, we're good. But in like the Midwest where it's just plains, like you're actually might be the tallest thing.
Run from it, yeah.
Because it's coming to get you unless you run into a fucking thing of corn and lay down.
Third content for one story. Spy balloon eater death.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Spy
we're
balloon
workshopping the title.
Eater death. Sped.
Death from above.
Death from above.
They're watching me, now they're eating me. Oh no.
That sounds like a good...
We'll get Darren Ealing to be the first
solid,
person to eat in a cold open.
That's like a solid... that's a solid like 70s exploitation title though.
Yeah.
Like,
the long titles that explain too much.
Exactly.
Or say too much.
There's
or have
a balloon.
Emotion.
It's gonna eat me, and the balloon's evil and possessed by the devil. The movie. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
My wife's a teenage whore werewolf, and I get off work at 9 out of silver bullets, but guess what? I'm
dead.
Every 60s or 70s horror movie title.
The title is just the script copy and pasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terrence. What the hell am I doing home so early? Blah, blah, blah.
You know, I kind of love those old titles, but they made no sense.
I do. I love a lot of them. I like the exploitation ones are ridiculous. Some of my favorite are the non-exploitation ones. They're sort of exploitative, but they're the giallo movies. Like, your vice is a locked room and only I have the key. Like, that's such a cool fucking title.
It's just taking one line from the script and making it the title.
And most of those don't even do that. Like, it's just like that. Like, that movie had nothing to do with it. I just watched it recently. It's awesome.
It was probably one of the first movies where someone in the audience like, they said the title.
Yeah.
They just said the title.
Guys, that's the name of it. They were like, and the director is sitting there like in the first film. They love it, and they just fucking start doing it like crazy. Like, all right, here's what we got to do. Find a name. No, that one actually. The giallo movies don't really do that a lot. They like that shit. It actually usually has nothing to do with the movie whatsoever. It's like the dude got high, fucking came up with this title, and was like, fuck it, that's the name of the movie, and that's it. So, very poetic. I love those movies. Anyway, is that good for blindly with science?
Oh my god, yeah. Let's move on to web dropping.
2.0.
All right. What if it's going to me now?
Sure, let's have you do the next one.
Yes, that's right. And actually, we're still talking a little science here, but it's not. It wasn't. It's not. This is something we've talked about before. It could almost be an update because we've talked about deep fakes a few times in here.
We have.
But it turns out that there's a new weapon in the war against deep fakes online, and it is biological in nature. It is. Dun dun dun. What could it be?
Do you want me to say it?
No. It's mice.
I really thought for a moment you were just like, why aren't you saying it?
Nope.
I'll keep saying stuff until you fucking say it.
Nope. Or if you're just like, did you forget what it was? Like,
there's a picture of a mouse in the story.
Yeah. Oh shit, what is it? Snakes? Rats? No.
Keyboards. Keyboards. There's a keyboard in the picture.
Keyboards. The first weapon against deepfakes. Use it. And they can't fake you out. Now, it turns out that that mice are actually extremely good at determining like differences in like audio cues, especially like the phonemes that they can be trained on to recognize, the way that people talk. And they can actually recognize minute differences. So when we're talking about deepfakes, we're not talking about just like the visual porn ones. We're talking about where they actually make somebody say something they didn't. Obviously the video stuff is a whole different thing they're trying to figure out. But they can actually. Now, they're not going to actually have a room full of mice which I think would be fucking awesome. But you're just gonna have a room full of mice, like thousands of mice, just like
and a
like
line
clicking,
down
like,
the middle of
no.
the room, and they play them in deepfake, and they run to one side of the room or the other, which is nowhere.
Yes, exactly.
And as a herd.
Yeah, well, and that way,
A herd of mice?
Well, in what is I think like a gaggle or something like that. What is
That's geese.
a group of mice?
Jared's doing some deep, hard research here.
deep fake research. But anyway,
what is a group of mice?
let's see.
Any
It's
second.
just referred to as a nest.
A nest,
of
of
mice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
weak.
That's all it says. Yeah, it's stupid. Fuck you, mice. But actually, no, it would be good
A
if they had a bunch of
plethora
them.
of mice.
Yeah, how about
that works because it is a description
It
of
is.
a large amount of things.
It is. So regardless,
I'd rather say that than
that's more
nest.
just like an adjective, I think.
Yeah, but I'd rather say that than a nest of
Or
mice. Because a
descriptive,
nest
yeah.
of mice is just a nest of mice.
Cornu-
I can find a
cornucopia.
nest of crows, but a bunch of crows is a murder.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like how that connotation works.
Yeah, or a bouquet of crows if you do it right.
Only if they're gay. That's a gay crows.
yeah,
a gay,
gay, yeah.
of them, bouquet of crows.
Cock.
Oh my god.
Oh, so fucking stupid.
Wow, no,
and we're canceling ourselves.
I dig it. This may be the last episode, but
Because that was stupid enough. And, like, we can be as offensive as we want. The second something that stupid comes out, it's like, I don't know, got second thoughts about our future.
I actually liked it.
So there's a nest of mice actually wouldn't be a bad idea because then, like, if some of them are stupid, like, you might have 5 of them go off to one side, but then, like, 995 go off to another. You can be like, okay, we feel pretty good. As opposed to just having one that might just be confused about certain things. But in this case, they're not actually using them in that nature. They're actually just studying them to figure out what it is about their makeup that allows them to detect this kind of thing, and then they're going to use that to program something more automated. So it's not just going to be a group of yes-no mice going off to different sides of the room like we want it to be, a plethora of mice, if you will. Instead, they're going to use it to study and maybe create some stuff that can help recognize, start weeding out deepfakes. The problem with deepfakes is then they learn from the stuff we try to, like, fix, and then we have to try to fix that, and then it becomes this really rapidly evolving AI that may or may not eat human beings. So we're in a dangerous world. We stand no fucking chance, folks. Just want to let you know my nihilistic views on everything. Nothing matters. You're all going to die, probably sooner than you think, because of robots.
Well, deepfakes we've talked about many times on the show. And
Yes.
And I do find them to be one of the more pressing problems that most people don't even realize exist.
Well, because we have misinformation and disinformation campaigns just by, like, posting stupid memes, and people are like, hey! Like, when you see, it's particularly conservatives and Trump supporters, you see a lot where they try to make a point and it's just a meme. I'm like as if that's a fact. I'm like, memes aren't facts, buddy. Like, they post it, like, in response to somebody giving statistics about something, and then they're like, yeah, well, Jeffrey Epstein's dead because the Clintons, and it's like a meme of somebody saying that. I'm like, that's not, you think that's a fact? So it's so easy to trick people already, and stupid people, that I don't even know if we need this technology to fuck everything up, but it's definitely going to fuck things up way more.
What I'm more worried about is once the technology is perfected, it can be used probably against us in some way, shape, or form.
Yes, well, it's not
just
the negative,
for us, but also against us.
No, it's the negative actors that are going to that always take over. The internet has become a poisonous wasteland of shit because of the people are going to. I hate to say it, the cream does not always rise to the crop. To the top. Wait a minute, I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
Unless you live near Cream River and you're growing corn, and it's cream flood season.
Yes, and that's how we know. That's how cream corn is made, folks.
Yeah,
it's all in the cream basin.
Yeah, they thought they were going to sell normal corn, but nope, it's a cream crop.
Yep, and they were like, "What are we going to do with all this corn?" Well, we'll sell it and see if anybody notices. People are loving the cream corn. Cream basin's in for the win here. Yeah, cream of the crop. That's what they say. Anyway, the worst are going to misuse this shit, and it's going to end up. It's not that there are not good people trying to do good things with it. It's just the internet needs to, as some people running the internet need to learn that if you put a tool out there, like, it's just going to help, you need to think about the worst shit people are going to do with it, and then assume you're also underestimating how shitty people are, or like a small group of people, but a group of people who are going to really take it so far. So you have to start getting thinking like those assholes, and planning for that, instead of being like, well, we'll just assume everybody's going to use this for good, and then guess what? Now we've got the internet and Twitter and Chan sites.
I don't have new content for this because I made some for the last time we did a deepfake story, and I want to bring it up again because I love it so much. The best use for deepfake, hands down, is going to be taking actors who can sense and do body scans and their families allow it so that they can continue making movies after their deaths, which is going to be very controversial when it happens.
It will, but you know what?
It will happen.
Leo DiCaprio is still going to be putting asses in the seat 200 years from now.
And when someone's like an up-and-coming riser, say they're 19, they're like a Disney kid who just broke through and had their first starring role in a movie. Scan yourself at that age and at every subsequent age so that you can then, like... Could you imagine if we had a Bruce Campbell Evil Dead 4 and they had scanned him when he did Evil Dead 3?
Well, I
Do you
think,
know what I mean? Like,
I think what's going to happen
You
too
could have
is-
young Bruce Campbell fucking kicking ass and calling people sugar tits or whatever he did.
I think we're also going to run into, if that were the case, you'd also run into probably the actual like unions themselves of actors, the guilds or whatever they are, being pissed because they're also like there's only a finite number of movies to be made, but they're not going to go. It's going to be like replacing jobs, so they're going to be like brand new actors are going to have like fewer and fewer opportunities because then suddenly you can stack a movie with all big name actors,
All dead
for
actors.
almost nothing because you're just leasing their likeness.
No, maybe not almost nothing. Maybe they cost more than a living actor, and that's the discouragement. Like,
but
we're willing to pay the
I don't know,
extra $300 million
But you know,
to
I
have
think-
dead Brad Pitt in this movie.
I think that's what it would be. It'd be like an auction system based on like how big the person was and how long they've been dead. So like each year their price would actually increase because you're like, well, you're 50 years away from the live Brad Pitt because he's dying.
I also think that you'd have more amateur filmmakers able to make movies once VR, like actually immersive VR, becomes more popular because then you'd have fake catalogs of people.
Yeah.
And not just movie stars, but just people who are willing to, for say $50, scan themselves. And then they get credits. So you could be someone harder than their luck, and instead of giving blood, you allow a scan, and then you end up in a movie you have no choice of being in.
Nope.
But your name is credited and your face on the screen. And if that becomes a blockbuster,
And you don't even have to know how to act.
then maybe your base level of how much you're worth in the catalog goes up. Like the movie you were just in that you didn't even act in won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Suddenly your profile, if someone wants to download it, went from $50 to $2,000.
Yeah, and suddenly you're making some of that scratch. I also think,
And that could be the new movie stars. People literally getting downloaded, thrown into homemade movies. They win an Oscar. Suddenly your self-worth goes up.
Well, I feel like you could also maybe lease like behavioral traits or rather acting traits, not necessarily the entire likeness. So you could say we want the acting chops and style
like
of
an
Brad,
acting
of Brad
reel
Pitt.
or a headshot set.
Yeah, so essentially you're taking the style of somebody's acting like Leo DiCaprio, but then you're sticking it into somebody who maybe isn't a great actor. Then it could essentially become the acting auto-tune as well. So you get somebody who can't perform a certain scene, but you're like, well, Brad Pitt could, but we need this person to do it. So we need to actually apply his acting chops to this likeness, and boom.
And his
you've
acting
got an
chops will be
auto-tune.
cheaper than his likeness.
Exactly, yeah. So you could essentially implant that in the
$20 likeness with a $100,000 acting chops.
Yeah, boom. You know?
There, we just developed
This
the
is-
future of movies.
This might be something we really want to copyright because this is if we could ever figure out the technology, which is we're not going to, but you know,
Nope, we are not capable of making this. But I would imagine
Eventually.
maybe before we're dead, this comes really close.
yeah.
If not, maybe within my kids' full lifetime.
I would say definitely. Not that anybody's living that long because the robots will have taken over prior to that. So good. All right, that's one down.
All right, I just got to open my notes again. Sorry.
Sure thing.
Next story: man's penis turns to bone. Well, don't they all?
Boner.
Haven't you ever had morning bone? Isn't that what they? Is that what they? That's not what they
Actually,
call
no,
it.
if
I'm being told by our assistant that's not what they call it.
Yeah, no, morning. It would be fun if it turned to wood, though. It would be just as funny a story because it's like, hey, he's got a boner. It's like, what does that mean? Oh, he has got a rare crippling condition that may kill him. I don't think it's actually going to kill this person, but that's pretty much. I mean,
And he's also too old to use his penis. This man is 63 years
that's
old.
That's not too old to use
He
a
was
penis. Hopefully not. But-
walking down the street with a cane, fell backwards onto his buttocks,
Yep.
and complained about a knee injury. So he went to the doctor, and they did a scan. What they found in the scan may surprise you.
a knee injury.
Click below.
Oh, just a clickbait podcast
Yes.
where it's just all clickbait. Like, you wouldn't believe which celebrities got facial surgery just 2 days ago. Click more below. Like, never give anybody an inkling of information. This weather phenomenon has people reeling. And if you live in the state of Vermont, you could have this kind of insurance adjustment.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what they found out was inside of his penis, he had ossification happening, which is essentially the buildup of calcium deposits, which are very similar to bone.
Yeah.
So
well,
when they call it
what
his
the
dick
elephant
is
man
turning to-
had, you know,
When they call it he's turned to bone, they're right and they're wrong.
Yeah, it's turning into a solid mass, like a dense solid mass that's not necessarily just like, oh, I got a boner.
No, what I love about this guy is when they told him that this was happening to him, and he figured, like, what do I do next?
He just
Should I
ripped up his
stay? Should I do
Viagra
whatever?
fucking...
He
this
just
is all my money! Boop!
checked himself out of the hospital and went home. He just like was like,
What are you gonna do about it?
Well,
You're
he's
like-
63 and
Yeah.
he falls with a cane.
Yes.
I mean, come on. Dude.
Put him down. Put him down.
Like I can picture him looking at the nurse and be like, will it get harder? Well, yeah, that's what ossification is. Could I replace my cane with it? No, it won't grow to the length of a cane and be replaced. Well, then I'm done here.
We're done here. Unless I can have a dick cane, I'm leaving. Okay, I guess.
One more time. Dick Cane?
Yeah.
Dick Cane? Dick Cane? Are you trying to ask for a man named Dick Cane?
Yeah, I'm confused because I have senile.
I have senile.
Yeah. Oh, Dick Kane. Wait, is that my name? Oh, actually, oddly, it is. No, his name isn't that. I don't remember what his
So
name is.
he's one of 40 recorded cases of this that happen in the entire world.
Yeah.
And he should feel special, but I feel like he just doesn't give a fuck. He's like, gotta
63.
go home or I'm gonna watch The Bachelor and find out which one of them little gay boys doesn't get the girl.
Yep. And
Sir, that's not how the show works.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, well, my name
I don't
is...
think that's how personal relationships work. The gay guys don't usually get the girls.
Oh, it's how it works, or my name ain't Dick Kane.
Sir, your name's not Dick Kane. I think it's actually I didn't even see his name in the story. Did you?
I didn't. I don't think they gave it, but I like the cut of this pic. You can actually see the X-ray pics and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like he's gonna go and stroke his calcium knob to some fucking Bachelor City, and
I think this should be a short, and the whole say 20 minutes. The first third of it is just this story, as we said it.
Yep.
Just everything's factual.
And the rest is like the aftermath of him finding out.
The next third is it gets worse, but he doesn't care, and you get to see what he likes about life.
Is this almost like body horror style stuff, or is it just more drama?
It gets worse. Like it gets more bony. Maybe you get a couple close-ups of a weird penis, maybe like some protrusions.
Like the Elephant Man's dick.
And then
Actually, I wonder if the Elephant Man's dick was like that.
in the second part of it, not only does it get worse, and you get to see a little bit about his home life, but he breaks a few things, like a cup on the counter. So now he has a permanent hard-on. Like he's just knocking glasses off. Then the last third is straight up slapstick comedy. He's like walks into a pharmacy, and instead of like pushing the glass door open, his bone dick shatters it ahead of him.
Oh, yeah.
But then he just like shrugs because he's old and walks through the broken glass and goes in and buys his stuff. And it ends with him finally buying Viagra, taking a pill, and then it shoots shrapnel out. And it kills him. Maybe they go through the walls and you see all the families and all the rooms around him dying from dick shrapnel.
This is a trauma movie.
Yeah, and then it just ends.
This is definitely...
Well, it's a short, 20 minutes.
No, yes, a trauma short. We could definitely make a... We could probably pitch this to Kaufman, scratch together $5,000 and make this movie.
Well, the last scenes where all $5,000 goes pretty much, because he's not only going to take a Viagra
special effect,
and you're going to see the dick, but that's the one special effect where it goes.
Well, and I definitely want like the thing like moving a little bit,
shaking,
like pretty much
tumbling.
like $4,000 needs to go to the exploding dick, and $1,000 for
and
all
a
the
little CG as you see dick fragments go through the wall.
Yeah,
and you see the interior of the wall as it goes through insulation boards, etc., and then through a baby's crib and through the baby's head, and then also through like another guy masturbating upstairs goes through his literal dick.
Oh yeah. And like a close-up of that dick exploding.
Yeah.
There's so many close-ups of dick is in that last scene, too.
Yeah.
Like somehow that we get... And then there's just one scene where nothing's happening. It's just literally just dicks on the screen.
No, one apartment's terrorist about to blow up part of the city, and he like disarms the bomb or something with a dick fragment cutting the green wire.
Yeah, and then kills the baby.
And then then it shoots through the terrorist's head and then out of his head into an innocent baby. So he's like a hero and a villain.
Yeah. So in
everything should
second.
be balanced. Everything should be balanced. And it's a split second, but you slow it down for each fragment.
And in between, there's like extra. Man stops nuclear warhead with penis shrapnel, and then
the dick
immediately
fragment hits him.
Yeah, and then immediately after that, it's his like another guy goes and picks up the paper and goes extra. Newspaper man killed by shrapnel, and somehow the thing is actually changed. I think this is the good trauma short.
Yeah, this would be a damn good trauma short. Lloyd,
I
I
like
know
this,
you listen to our
'cause I think-
well, I was going to say, Lloyd, I know you listen to our show sometimes. Lloyd Kaufman, to our listeners, the owner of Trauma. If you happen to be listening,
Hey,
shoot me
here
an
it is.
email.
Here it is. Let's do it. This is a good one. I think because I think in like Romeo and Juliet where they show the close up of that weird, when the dick actually comes out and it's like the fucking monster. Like, yeah, there's some.
Yeah, it does that thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
I almost.
I
Watched,
do that in my own living room when it happens. I
almost
literally wait
watched,
for that scene, then I go, "Wah!"
I almost watched Romeo and Juliet again the other day. It's on some streaming service right now. So
Probably YouTube, because all trauma movies
well,
are on
that's
YouTube.
definitely on YouTube somewhere. But I mean like a legit one where Lloyd might actually get some money for it. So anyway,
All right, next story, Jerry. I'm going to tee this off to you.
Prime Video.
Spanish.
Anybody wants to watch Romeo and
on
Juliet on Prime
Video.
Video?
James Gunn's first movie.
James Gunn's first movie, and hilarious. It's one of the first trauma movies I remember seeing, 1996. So, well, other than Toxic
Avenger
but
was number one.
I didn't know that was I didn't know the name Trauma until Romeo and Juliet and Sergeant Kabuki Man.
All right, next story. Spanish driver fakes kidnapping to cover up for spending his earnings at a sex club.
That's pretty much the story, but eventually it came out that yes, he was.
Do you want to read from it a bit, or do you want me to?
I'll go ahead and read from it. I've been talking.
All right. A Spanish driver reported to police that he'd been abducted, made to hand over all of his earnings, and forced into taking drugs in a sex club in Figueroa, Malaga.
Fuengirola.
I refuse.
In the south of
refuse.
it's south of Spain.
Yeah. The police arrested that the...
Fuengirola.
What?
Fuengirola.
Are you naming your favorite pasta?
Fuengirola. Milag.
Oh.
Yeah,
May I?
I'll probably interrupt with another
I know you're going to.
Italian stereotype at some point, but even though it's Spanish.
I know, yeah. The police arrested the alleged kidnapper, but an investigation codenamed Operation Camarita, I think I got that one right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Revealed that the suspect was in fact the man's drinking buddy, and that the story had been invented to cover up for having spent all of the night's earnings on a single wild night out. The victim turned out to be the suspect, and the real story is very different from the title of this story, which was how it was reported.
Yes, exactly.
So
this is from elpais.com.
I might as well just roll through.
Yeah.
The man, who was working as a driver for a ride-hailing service with a VTC license, told the police in July that a passenger threatened him with a knife and ordered him to drive to a brothel in Fuengirola. I should just pause.
Ravioli.
I'm going to pause, and you can fill in the blanks, okay?
Cool.
Where he was made to take drugs. Once he had spent all the money he had made that night, the man claimed the customer made him drive to a, quote, friend's house to sell his motorbike in order to continue spending money on, quote, drugs and having sexual relations with the women at the club. But the abduction did not finish there, however. According to the driver, he was forced into a taxi that drove him and his alleged kidnapper to a garage where he was held for several...
Fuengirola.
Perfect, thank you.
That's hours in Spanish.
That was hours in Spanish, yes. The investigating officers have concluded that the driver and the alleged kidnapper were known to each other and that the driver was not held against his will at any point. Rather, he handed the money over for the sale of the motorbike voluntarily because that was the agreement he made with his drinking pal.
He's like, hey, I want to do drugs and have sex with women and go to fucking strip clubs.
Yeah, and literally...
And you need that motorbike money for that shit.
And literally, that is what they did. They concocted the story together to... Okay, the idea here is he's trying to hide that he was out for an entire night and that he spent all of his paycheck.
Yes.
So they never bring up that he has a spouse, a girlfriend or boyfriend at home that is like, honey, where are you?
Yeah, so was this just
and he's like kidnapped.
Yeah.
Again.
And wouldn't you know it, drugs and a sex club again. Can you believe it? What are the odds? Every kidnapper brings me to a sex club so I can have sex with women, have drugs, and then they drop me off back home here.
They never mention the story, but you can extrapolate from the case that there's no fucking way he was doing this because of shits and giggles. He did this to hide his activity.
He was trying to hide
it,
and clearly not for the public. Like, he knew he shouldn't be spending that money.
Yeah.
And suddenly spent all the money.
Yep. No, a spouse was definitely involved. They don't mention the story, which I find perplexing.
Well, yeah, because it seems like it would be a motive to his actions.
Why wouldn't you put motive in there?
Yeah.
Like, what else? What would be the other reason to hide spending your paycheck and being gone for hours at night when you're not.
I understand, like, if you
Yeah.
embezzled it from a company and stuff, you know, like Empire Records style, only instead of Empire Records, it's a sex club with drugs in it, which would make Empire Records so much more enjoyable. Although I remember liking that movie as a kid.
I did
and
too.
A teenager. As Liv Tyler and
she's
Ethan
in that
Embry.
plaid skirt.
Yeah.
That's where I think my love of plaid skirts came from.
Yeah. They come
And
from those
bras,
days.
because you also see her in a bra in that. Does
Yeah.
she take her bra off?
I don't think so.
I want to say she does, but I don't think she does.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe she doesn't, like, you see the back of her, but I think that was a PG-13. Maybe it was,
Was
a rated R.
it?
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
It came out when I was like in high school, so I don't know.
And I remember liking
And I
Ethan
haven't seen
Embry
it
and then wondering
since.
where he went, and then like he's come back lately and playing in some really good movies. So
He became older Macaulay Culkin.
yeah, because Macaulay Culkin just never got older.
Yeah. So he
'Cause
kind of looks.
I think
kind of looked
technically,
like older
yeah.
Macaulay Culkin minus the crack.
I think Macaulay Culkin died on the set of Home Alone too.
No, he married a very hot, famous, rich woman who then broke up with him because he stopped being hot and famous. And
Yeah,
rich.
but he still has
actually no, he's still rich. He's still rich.
He made so much money like early in his career, and he actually like was able to keep a lot of it. I remember he like sued his parents, right? Or was he one of the ones that did that? I can't remember. Culkins, I like the Culkins, man.
His own version of Home Alone. I'm just suing my parents. But the movie was where they left you alone. Yeah, I'm just suing them.
Yeah. Sued my parents. First of all, they left me alone twice, maybe 3 times. I wasn't in the third one. I don't think.
I don't think he was in the third one.
No.
And they're thinking about rebooting that movie right now, which is impossible in the cell phone age.
Yeah, because it's like, Kevin, are
Yeah,
you
I'm right
are you
here.
okay?
I'm right here.
Yeah, cool. Okay, cool.
Someone's breaking in the house. Yeah, 911.
Cool. I ordered you a ticket online to come meet us, and an Uber is going to pick you up in 20 minutes. Okay, cool. And the movie is done. So that's our new content.
Actually, the only way you could do it is if he lived in a really high-tech household, and, like, say his parents are tech developers, and instead of cutting the phone lines, the robbers who were trying to steal some tech from the house literally bring jammers.
Yeah, and it could just
Jammers
be...
that jam all the... Like, you could see him playing with, like, robot arms, and you're like, oh my god, foreshadowing. He's got drones. You're like, he's gonna fuck up these robbers.
And then
they put the jammers in, and all the tech dies.
Like, it's
and
like-
suddenly
it's like-
he has to go old school tech.
Yeah, and that's where those paint cans and shit
Yeah,
like
whatever.
that. Yeah.
Like, maybe get more original than just doing the paint cans
Oh,
again.
all the paint cans again.
just paint cans. Just.
How many times do these robbers who had jammers and are very sophisticated get fucked by paint cans?
That's the only foreshadowing that mattered. Don't go into the guest house in the backyard. We're painting it.
Yeah, there's hundreds and hundreds of paint cans.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, and we had to put them on strings, to keep them tidy. It's like greenhouse, like swinging paint cans, and they're like, "Well, I don't think I'll ever need to go in here again." And then he winks and mugs at the camera.
No, that would actually be the literal only way you can do it. Make it so high tech and make it foreshadow that he's gonna be like grabbing robbers with robot arms, like CG the shit out of it. You got like an Iron Man room. He's got a fucking Iron Man suit. Give him all the tech. It's like baby Tony Stark, like
And I think-
10-year-old Tony Stark.
And I think this could be
But
one of
then
those
all
things.
the tech ends.
And
It
it could
goes,
be. And I think the way it could start is too is like he actually he's smart enough where he actually manipulates it so when the parents leave town, they think they're going to be leaving with a sitter, but it turns out he actually posed as like a sitter online to get the place to himself on purpose. So it doesn't have to be like a Kevin and they just turn back. They're like, he's fine, he's taken care
Yeah,
of.
he deep fakes himself on a computer as
Yes.
the sitter Skyping to say I'll be there at 9.
Exactly, yeah. So and it turns out they're like, fine, it's great, thank you.
Literally deep fakes it, too.
And then no big deal. And then he also had some like
was a callback.
some calls. So like when people when his parents would call the house, it would like give them like an auto reply and stuff. So the parents are actually calling, and it seems like everything's fine based on this auto reply,
he just
which is
wanted a
also
night.
deep faked. Yes, he just wanted a night to himself, maybe because the parents are like helicopter parents.
Oh, bad ones, yeah.
So they're just like, so they literally are just like, okay, we'll give you this. He's coming of age, and he's 12 years old.
And because this will probably be made by Disney or some other shitty giant company that has no
I
originality,
think we could just make it a home invasion movie from Blumhouse too.
You do the opening where you get all the foreshadowing of like the Iron Man suit, the robot arms, all of that. But you also have foreshadowing of him opening like a kitchen drawer, and being like, "What's this? You old people and your shit," and like throwing it back in the drawer because he's a little shit.
Yeah,
and like that's all foreshadowing for things that he doesn't get because it's from the pre-digital age, and that becomes his weapons.
And so he has to, and of course,
and he has to go pre-digital to beat the robbers.
Yep, and who are not. This could be like a Blumhouse like hard R movie too. It could just be a home invasion.
Well,
movie.
they already did that with that Christmas movie that I love. I watched
that's
with
right.
you.
Yeah, which was pretty sweet. That was Better Watch Out.
Better Watch Out. That is
yeah.
pretty much Home Alone.
I would definitely recommend that as a nice Christmas movie when Christmas pops up again. I think
Better
it's
Watch
still
Out
on
is one of
Shudder.
the best Christmas horror movies.
It was a
I've
Shudder
ever
exclusive.
seen.
I'm guessing they keep most of those. I think ongoing.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's still on Shudder.
But it was basically Home Alone as a horror movie with a bunch of cool twists.
With like a fucking like a good solid home invasion movie with some twisted stuff and some twists.
But I think we just figured out how to actually do Home Alone in this day and age and do the foreshadowing, but also trick you into thinking that some foreshadowing matters.
Yeah, because I think people are going to be like, especially like in the trailer, you have a lot of that technical stuff.
You see him floating in a room in a Tony Stark suit.
Yeah, and you're like, this is going to get fucking crazy.
And he crushes a human skull he bought off eBay with his like allowance money.
And that's like the first 15 minutes, and then it's 75 minutes of paint cans. Like that's it.
Just paint
like
cans.
Marbles and paint cans, man. You're gonna do whoop 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 whoop. Literally just cut parts of the original movie.
There's one moment where he just puts marbles on strings and they hit people and it's slightly annoying.
Yeah, so he actually does a lot of things like flip.
And then he puts paint cans on the floor.
People is like, oh, we just kick him out of the way. Like this is not a problem at all. We can actually walk on these. It's fine. So I think that's pretty solid. So we can turn it in a lot of directions.
He can look up at the ceiling, see like hooks or something. Look at the floor, and then when you cut to the next scene, he's dumped the paint on the floor, so it's slippery, and the marbles, so they hit the people and like disorientate them, like a whole bunch, like 100 marbles on strings. So they were like, pap, 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 what's going on? Slipping the paint.
Yep.
And then when they walk around, they leave paint footprints, so he knows where they're going.
Because he definitely
he can track them. And
so it turns out, because that'd be cool to like actually have a few callbacks, but like they're subtle and cutesy enough. Yeah, exactly. So it's not just like a hey in your face, hey everybody, look at what we did. We are referencing the original, so you nerds can feel like you got something out of it. Now here, enjoy this $300 million piece of shit. And because we gave you this one thing, you're gonna see it twice now. Instead, we're gonna like give some solid stuff, and we'll flip the script a little bit, but people are gonna be happy that it's flipped.
Yep.
I actually kind of want to see that movie.
Yeah, me too. I know. That's why
we're just like,
I'm thinking about it.
It's terrible because it's.
I want to watch that now.
I think I bet the reboot's not going to be that good, but who knows? I mean, as good as we just made it. Maybe it's going to be bad. Who knows? I don't know.
I
think
there's
nailed
other
it.
scenarios where you can be without your parents in a digital age. I would think in the Catskills, you go out to the mountains.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
like
you're at a cabin with no cell service.
It's similar to any other movie that is done now, where they have to get rid of cell service and communication.
You got to get rid of communication.
You get them either remote or you have people cut you off in some way.
The original movie, they
technology.
cut the phone line, which is super easy.
And pretty much you have to follow a lot of the new home invasion tropes that they've needed to create since the cell phone age. Actually, it would be a cool like paper to write at some point, or an article about the cell phone, internet, home invasion movies versus new ones, and some of the differences and similarities. Yeah. I might write that for Bloody Disgusting. I might do that. That actually would be a fun one to research. So nobody take that one. That's actually mine. I'm going to do that. I
was thinking about this the other day when I was thinking about the Home Alone reboot and how it wouldn't work. Was that a lot of horror movies are throwbacks to the 80s and 70s right now?
Yeah.
And some people complain that trope is getting tired because they're doing so many. Cell phones ruined horror movies. That's why this trope is happening.
Yeah, they're
literally going back to the point where you still could be scared and afraid and have no one to reach out to because you don't have a magic fucking computer in your pocket.
Yeah, to just be like, I need to make an emergency call. So nowadays, like, even if we're getting to a point where now, because of the emergency call system and all that kind of stuff rolling out, is that especially with like small cell and also the satellite internet technology that these companies are making, where there's literally going to be no remote locations. You could be in the middle of the most remote place, and as long as you have a phone, you're going to be able to get help. Because nowadays they're like, oh my god, no signal, boom, you've set it up. We're in 10 years, less than 10 years, probably 5 years, that's not going to be a thing. We're not going to have that. So we're going to even hit a new mark on that.
Yep. So I hate to say it, people, there's going to be a lot more throwback horror movies because it's the only way to plausibly keep the tension alive. And if anything, in 20 years, horror movies are going to be more sci-fi than horror.
I was going to say,
because they kind of have to be like more Ghost in the Machine.
Well, I mean, the thing about this is like we're talking about very specific types of horror movies. So for those types of horror movies, definitely
basically anyone with people in trouble.
Yes. Otherwise, well, no. I mean, no.
I think I covered most of the genre.
There's like paranormal.
Paranormal would be the last one.
You can't really do much. You call the police or whatever. They've done plenty of that. You've done just straight up more. Like period pieces, so it's not even. They don't have to be like an 80s throwback. They could just literally be a period piece.
I guess for 80s throwback, we're talking home invasion, slasher, and serial murder,
which is like a lot of the.
Which is a lot.
Yes. I mean, anything that where if you could pick up a phone and call somebody, or even like the nature horror movies where you're trapped in the middle of nowhere, those are going to go away too. So,
all right. Well, we have one last story for the show this week.
One last story.
This is a bit of a jump ahead to Halloween, our favorite holiday.
That's
so
right.
We might even bring this story back when Halloween happens because I'm definitely going to buy these. And you know what? Maybe we should just eat some on air.
That's a great podcast. Literally for an entire show.
We just eat them off mic and say we're going to, and then whenever you
Yeah.
get a shit one or whatever the flavor is here, let's get into the story.
Yeah.
Beware. This October, Skittles announces rotten flavored zombie candy. Now, this is zombie flavored Skittles.
Yes.
And
not all of them. It's just like regular Skittles for the most part.
Well, they have flavors,
Yes.
and then every once in a while you get a random one. Here, I'll read from the story.
Yes.
Quote, our fans love Skittles, not just for its delicious fruity flavors, but for the irreverence and sense of humor for which our brand is known.
Oh, I guess with their commercials they are. I was going to say, I didn't know that but recently they've been doing
And that was from obvious fictional name Skittles senior brand manager Mars Wrigley. Fucking made that shit up.
I feel like
Let's pick two other candy companies. Mars Bars, Wrigley Chews. Yeah, Mars Wrigley is our spokesman. I don't think they have a spokesman.
Oh, no.
I think in one of those commercials where they have like one of the unicorns that shits candy, that's who actually runs their marketing department.
Hold on, let me finish reading the sentence to embarrass you a little bit. Brand manager for Mars Wrigley, Rebecca Duke.
Oh, it does not say for.
No, but yeah, it definitely was. It definitely seemed like senior brand manager Mars Wrigley.
Well, I'm right. It does sound like two companies, but there's
Yes, it does.
Well,
The
there's
people who
there's
work Skittles.
literally nothing there but a comma.
Yes, and then
if you keep
Mars Wrigley,
reading-
U.S. Rebecca Duke. Yeah. So
That
Rebecca
is
Duke
not
sounds.
that is not a sentence. First of all,
And Rebecca Duke does not sound like a made-up name, but I like Mars Wrigley better because it definitely sounds like somebody let a kid choose their own name at like 6 years old, and then they're like, "Oh, but you're only allowed to change it once in your lifetime." They're like, "Oh, fuck!" When they're like 30. Cool.
yeah, I'm Charleston Jolt.
You named yourself when you were 14 in high school, yeah. Oh, Jolt.
I'm Mountain Cheetos. I'm just trying to think of other good combinations.
Just like shitty foods that like teenagers love.
Yeah, I'm Flamin' Hot Donutties. I feel like there's any combinations of this is a teenager who named
That's
themselves.
right. I'm Tostitos. I love Tostitos. It's a brand so right, I named myself it twice.
Okay, so this Halloween, this is quoted. This Halloween, we wanted to give our fans the ultimate rotten twist on candy they know and love, challenging them to test their bravery over a bag of Skittles. Now, the flavors inside each bag of Skittles include petrifying citrus punch, mummified melon, boogeyman blackberry, chilling black cherry, and bloody red berry.
Yep.
However, as indicated on the packaging, most taste delicious, but some taste like rotten zombies.
I like,
Which is, to my knowledge, not a flavor that has been categorized.
No, but we were talking about like what they did with Jelly Belly does this
Like
on
the
a regular
Harry Potter
basis.
thing.
Yeah, they did the Harry Potter. They also just had even pre-Harry Potter. They did like some just like stinky ones that just for fun. And people would actually you could go out and just pick some up. This is going to be a little more of a a crapshoot, possibly literally eating shit.
Speaking of crapshoots, I got my new content. Was it Caddyshack where someone threw a candy bar in the pool and they all thought it was a turd and they jumped out of it? Was that the 80s comedy where everyone freaked
it's
out?
One of those turd in the pool.
I want to say it was Caddyshack 1 or 2. It almost sounds like a Caddyshack 2 joke.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Caddyshack joke. The original.
Jared's doing some research
Yes,
here.
yeah, okay, Caddyshack. Yeah,
It was the original Caddyshack.
I was pretty much 100% with you on that.
So my thought is Snickers capitalizes on this.
Yeah.
Here's what they did. And then, like every 10th Snickers bar, shit.
Just actual shit.
Well, no, they
melted-
chemically
yeah.
made it taste like shit. It doesn't even quite look like a Snickers.
No, well, I mean, all it is just looks like a melted.
It's solid color.
Yeah, it's
too.
just like a melted Snickers, really, right?
But they just fill it with like bitterness and like chopped up peanuts,
like corn.
No peanut allergy on there either, because you don't want to give away which one's which.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Well, I mean, the real Snickers has peanuts too. So.
Yep, you do. You have the dead gopher, zombie gopher on the packaging, and it's like for Halloween you got the.
You might get shit.
You might get shit.
And just say Snickers. It's the shit.
Ooh.
Like go for that fucking adult market.
Go
Boom.
for that.
Go for that adult market. Hey, remember that movie?
I feel like we're at a round table meeting at Mars Bars right now.
Mars Wrigley.
I'm Mars Wrigley.
Yeah, I'm Mars Wrigley. I work for Rebecca Duke, the company. Rebecca Duke, U.S. Head, Mars Wrigley here. Yes, my cohort,
yes,
Tostito,
I'm slightly
Tostito.
mortified at my mistake, but I didn't read further.
Those mistakes are the things that make the show, though, because we attack each other voraciously, viciously.
Sure, yeah.
Viciously and voraciously, yes.
No, it was well played and well done, and we're good.
Yes.
So when Halloween rolls around, I am definitely buying one of these for both of us to try. We can do it on air without actually smacking our lips and waiting and making the customer
we
listen
did
to
that,
silence. We can just eat them.
We've done that a couple times.
And then when
Remember
you get one, interrupt the show and be like, "Oh, found one."
Oh, yep, found
and
one.
And then tell us what it tastes like.
Yes, and it tastes like rotten zombie.
And then I'm also getting another pack of them, probably just to put up with my Halloween decorations.
Yeah, this
It's
is
a weird like thing.
Oh, so this is the Dare the Rainbow challenge.
Dare the Rainbow.
Hashtag recording themselves tasting the hidden zombie flavor, so we could do that. And also
We
hashtag
actually
Lost at
post
Home
it
podcast.
and make it part of our. Well, it's their marketing campaign. That's why they're doing it.
Of course, it's Dare the Rainbow.
But we could
baby.
also make it part of our marketing campaign.
Yeah. And I do Dare the Rainbow and we butt chug them. And it's just us putting Skittles.
Zombie!
Yeah.
Zombie!
Yeah, I can really feel
They're
the
all
zombie.
zombies.
And if we all feel like getting raped by a zombie.
As it's just a close up of your ass and you finger them in one by one.
it's just two, yeah.
Zombie!
Two, yeah.
Yeah, the person getting them fingered up in
Another
just
zombie.
puts their head over their shoulder. Another zombie.
Zombie feels like a zombie to me. Yeah, no, that burns. That burns like a zombie. That's all right. I dared the rainbow. And then hashtag it. Pound sign it. Whatever.
Pound sign it?
Yeah, pound sign it.
Okay.
I'm old. Zombie Skittles will be available at retailers across the U.S. in share size, lay down, and fun size bags.
Now, do you know something we haven't done in a long time on this
What's
show?
that?
We have not called out any of our places you can find us on the interwebs.
Hey, yeah, that's right. We got a couple minutes. We could do that.
We do. I want to make sure everyone who's listening to the show and who enjoys it goes and checks out lostatompodcast.com. That is our main landing page, webpage.
Yep.
There's a lot of content there. If you search in the top bar, there's a lot of music videos, a lot of other
sort.
stuff.
Yeah, you can sort by just go listen to the interview episodes if you want to do that, or just listen to some other ones tagged in various ways. So
also, if you'd like to interact with us and be part of the show, you can be on our fan group on Facebook, the Lost at Home Podcast fan group.
Yes, exactly.
It is invite only because it is not safe for work. We don't want people just wandering in there. So definitely
but
shoot
we will,
us a
if you want to be
request.
in, we will let you in, unless of course we vet you and it turns out you're a hate group, in which case you have no place on Lost at Home Podcast's fan group. So don't even bother.
And besides that, you can find me on Instagram at Legend Tripper with an underscore in the middle. And Jer?
And I'm at Sonic Jalopy, and actually I'm working on some stuff right now. Actually, you've been working on some stuff too, so we've actually been a little busier on our Instagram feeds. And I like doing the art. You like doing the art. At some point, we'll probably art together. Maybe after we get done shoving Skittles up each other's assholes.
That'll be part of the art, honestly.
It will. Honestly, that is art. If it was an installation, people going zombie, no context, just shoving Skittles in the asshole and going zombie in between everyone, and have the Cranberries, not zombie, Cranberries Dreams playing in the background. And people like, it's art. And just to troll artists and then become also famous and rich.
Yeah.
So that's another piece of new content.
That actually reminds me, I was watching that art episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, What's Art? And
Yes.
Where Frank was pretending to be that Sia style. He had the Sia hair.
Yep.
Art expert. And he's like, I love this. And she's like, that's our air conditioner.
Yes. It's beautiful. That's art, baby. So check us out at all those places, and we like to interact. So feel free to interact with us in all those places. And
and we also have a Twitter.
I was gonna say
at not the Lost at Home. We have at Lost at Home
on Twitter. Yes.
If you want to go to at the Lost at Home and call that person a prick, we would love you.
Or no, it's the other way around, right?
Ooh,
yes. We're at the Lost at Home. Right?
Go to both. The one that has the most followers is us. The other one's a prick. Go there and tell him he's a prick.
Yeah, exactly. Because we wanted the regular Lost at Home one.
Yeah, and he wouldn't give it to us.
Yeah.
And he's a jerk and doesn't use it. He's sitting on it literally so we can't have it.
Yeah, and because we were just like, hey, just real quick question.
Oh, we were super polite until the end. Now we're like enemies.
Yep. And that's it. So who knows?
All right. On that note, get lost.
Get lost.